Good morning, welcome. Good morning, Kelly Schwartz. Welcome to the 6th Annual Guardian Ad Litem Specialized Advocacy for Children's Symposium. We are very excited to have all of you here and can't wait for you to learn and network with other professionals in your field. To get this symposium kicked off, I would like to introduce you to the Guardian Ad Litem Director of Legal Advocacy, Kelly Schwartz.
Good morning. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here for our 6th annual symposium. And we have some really great speakers today and tomorrow and really good workshops. We're excited about it. And this year's symposium theme is building stronger communities. You've seen probably the building blocks that we have around. Each stakeholder, each one of you, has a distinct role in the child welfare system. And at this year's symposium, I'm asking all of you to think about how you can use your role to make the child welfare system more responsive, more collaborative, and more effective, so we can return kids to their homes more efficiently, and so they get to stay there, and more quickly, so we can build stronger families and stronger communities. This isn't something that we can accomplish on our own. We need each group and each person to do their part. It takes service providers, parents, attorneys, parents, judges, and guardians ad litem to see the problems of our children as belonging to all of us and to build a solution that is sustainable for the long term. That's why we're all here. That's why we all get together. So as you attend the symposium over the next 2 days, as you go to the workshops and meet with other people, you'll see the building blocks. A single building block alone cannot create a structure. It's just a building block. There are many different pieces that must work together to make the structure sturdy. For our children to have the safe and stable families that they deserve, we must work together to build a system that is strong enough to support them and be sustainable over the long term. One of the things the program has focused on this year has been trauma-informed care. Deborah Lacombe is chairing the Trauma-Informed Advocacy Work Group, and they have been meeting once a month, hearing from experts on how trauma impacts children, their daily lives, and the decisions they make as they grow into adults. This summer, the work group is putting together a report that will shape Guardian Ad Litem program policy, and also they'll be discussing legislative action. We hope that as you attend workshops over the next 2 days, you'll learn about trauma-informed care, specific services available to our youth, and best practices that you can incorporate into your advocacy for children. So here's what we got going on the next 2 days. We have 24 workshops and 2 fantastic general sessions. Please take the time in the next 2 days, between sessions, not during, but please take the time to network, get to know each other, introduce yourself to people that you don't already know from around the state. Each one of you has a level of expertise in something different than the person next to you. Find out who you can call if you have a question, who is an expert in any various subject, and how you can help move things through the system more quickly. That's what we want to do, right? We want to get the kids through the system more quickly, but also effectively. Use the mobile app. It's really helpful. I downloaded it. If I can do it, anybody can. It has the general schedule. It'll have your own personal schedule on it, maps, materials, contacts. And please, please, please take the time. It doesn't take long, I promise. Answer the survey. It's really, really important to us. It's what we use to plan for next year and the following year. I think we've gotten better every year, although it seems difficult because we've been so good every year, but we continue to improve. And we do that with your input and your feedback. Everything from venue to menu, speakers, topics, everything. So please, please, please answer the survey questions. At this time, it is my pleasure to have Alan Abramowitz come back on stage to update you on some legislation from this year.
Thank you, Kelly. First and foremost, I want to thank you for your continued work and dedication to Florida's children. I also like the building blocks theme as a foundation for stronger communities because I really believe that if we collaborate early and often in dependency, we will have better outcomes for children and families. I hope you will take opportunities to get to meet people here because they are people that are also care very much about children, whether they're parents, attorneys, attorney ad litems, volunteers, child advocate managers, or best interest attorneys. This past year has been amazing. We have championed many bills that will become law in the coming months, supported legislation to better the lives of children we serve, and raised awareness for the need for volunteers and pro bono attorneys. We have created a wonderful partnership with the Florida Association of Women Lawyers, which stands for FALL. The program is called Fall in Love with Gal program. And with the appellate practice section of the Florida Bar, we also created Defending Best Interest Project, where we have certified attorneys doing guardian ad litem appeals pro bono, basically ensuring that the result of the best interest occurs. The Fall in Love with Gal project trains attorneys to advocate for older youth in dependency. This includes mentoring and becoming the significant adult in the child's life. We recently held trainings for Fall members in Palm Beach, Broward, and Tampa, and we already have many certified guardian ad litems that are attorneys with Fall coming to the table to advocate for children. Next come the law school tours, where we will expand these opportunities to those just starting out in the legal profession. I did want to talk briefly about 3 specific bills that the governor either signed or will sign that will come into law, that the Guardian ad litem program, with each of your assistance and input, ended up passing this year. In a year where very few bills passed, I think it was probably the lowest ever, we had 3 bills that we championed pass this year. Florida in federal law require that abused and abandoned children either return home or have a permanent placement within 1 year. A year is a long time in the life of a child. But with more communication, accountability, empowerment, we can improve outcomes and get children to permanent homes sooner. Hopefully, it will be reunification because that's the goal of the statute, and children want their families. But if we can't, if the child can't go home safely, we want the child to be adopted. I really appreciate the sponsors on this legislation. Representative Spencer Roach, who is an attorney and has been a guardian ad litem for the past few years, as a freshman representative, wanted his first bill to be meaningful and be involved with children. I remember on the floor when he was talking about the bill, he talked about, he's a JAG officer. He was a JAG officer, and he said, as a JAG officer, he would be moved many, many times, 12 times, but he chose that. The children in foster care that get moved a lot do not choose that, and gave a very emotional speech on the floor. That bill passed unanimously in every committee and on the floor throughout. That bill was called "The Year is a Long Time in the Life of a Child." Senator Ben Albritton, who has a history of fighting for children through his work on Keys to Independence. He was the sponsor of the Keys to Independence, the normalcy law that Florida passed and later the federal law passed, and the Regis Little Act, had a personal story of a child that he had in the audience during his closing argument. He and his wife Missy actually go around the state to churches recruiting foster parents. And he talked about the story of this child who'd been in foster care for 5 years, and now they had a family. Some key elements of the bill establish greater empowerment and accountability for parents by informing them throughout the case that if they are proactive, they can get reunified sooner. enhance communication with plain language so they understand what is expected of them, and to stay in contact with everyone. So if there is an obstacle, they can let people know and we can all try to overcome it. Establish accountability for DCF and community-based care, requiring quicker referrals and timely contact information and planning strategies for parents to overcome these obstacles. Ensure children have a caseworker identified even when there is turnover. Someone has to be assigned the case that actually works for the place that has case management. Expedite cases by requiring termination of parental rights orders to be signed within 30 days of the trial being done. Ensure the guardian ad litem's name is on the court order, so if a parent can't find someone, they can get with us and we can also help and try to ensure they get the services they need. That was the first bill. A year is a long time in the life of a child. Another bill is called Charting a Positive Path for the Future Act. And a lot of you in here brought this issue up to me, especially the judges, that when the Regis Little Act was passed, there was a venue issue. There was a requirement that the guardianship, if the child was about to turn 18, happen where the child was living. Oftentimes, they'd be in a faraway county where no one knew the child, maybe Hardy County, where the case might have been in Miami. The law required the guardianship to occur in Hardy County with a judge that didn't even know the child. The law has now been changed, and it was signed into the law with the governor's signing ceremony that the judge, the dependency judge, or the judge where the placement is, can now do the guardianship. So whatever's best for the child will happen. That was very important. The other part of that bill dealt with Department of Juvenile Justice, and what it did, it required when a crossover child or a child in DJJ and child welfare comes to the attention of DJJ, that all the parties in the dependency case are noticed, including the guardian ad litem and the attorney ad litem if one's been appointed. So they have an opportunity to let that judge, who won't know the child's background, an opportunity to talk. And that is important because more and more our dependent children are further and further away from their home circuit, and they pick up a charge in another circuit. And that judge may not know the child, but this ensures that all the information gets to that judge so they can make an informed decision. And according to the rules, if the child is committed, and by the way, there's about 1,000 of these children at any one time in the state, the rules allow the judge to, after disposition, to transfer the case. And we are hoping that more of these cases, if the child's committed, because remember, they're committed to their 19th birthday or they successfully complete the program, that the judge will also consider transferring the case to the dependency judge, who also has the service end and also responsible for ensuring the child is ready for aging out of foster care if that happens to be the goal. That bill was done by Representative Sir Roy from Brevard County, and Ed Brodsky, the state attorney from the 12th Circuit, asked me to present it to the State Attorneys Association. It was voted on unanimously by every elected official, and as a state attorney with the state attorney's office, Sir Roy asked to sponsor it, and he sponsored it, and the other sponsor was Senator Aaron Bean, who has been a champion. He's the guardian ad litem, and he's been championing for youth in foster care and chairs the Health and Human Services Committee, does all the bills for children that he can. And in fact, when Nancy Dietert left the Senate, she told me to contact him because he was going to carry the torch. The last bill I want to talk about was sponsored by Senator Bill Monfort from Tallahassee and Representative Rick Roth from Palm Beach County, and it was better to protect reporter information. We had a lot of foster parents, guardian ad litems, and teachers in particular that would be approached by parents because they knew that they reported the child abuse. Now, we all know reporter information is redacted. In fact, it's in a separate section of the report. But the problem was, in the body of the report, it's not hard to figure out when they say it's happened in the third grade class that it was the third grade teacher. This law protects identifying information in the report. And I appreciate Department of Children and Family support to ensure, because people, mandatory reporters and all which is everybody, and those professional reporters, we need to ensure they're protected, especially guardian ad litems, teachers, attorneys, because we still have to work with people, and we can't have situation where they are they're hostile to the individual. When it came to budget, I want to mention just a few things. We are very fortunate. Senator Bradley, the budget chair, and Chair Cummings, they are big Guardian ad litem and children supporters. They help us a lot, that we have access to them around the whole time. And when it came to budget, we were fortunate. The Guardian ad litem got 18.5 new positions that are attorneys, best interest attorneys. We got, the volunteers last year got a one-time $322,000 so we could travel, since more and more kids are further away from their home. They made that money forever. That $322,000 will be every year. So our volunteers, even if we have a child in Pennsylvania at Glen Mills where we want to check, we can actually send a volunteer and check on children no matter where they are. Also, we got board certification for our child advocate managers, our social workers. Very important because now we'll be more educated and more professional and have consistency statewide through our social workers who work with our volunteers. This is going to have a big impact, and there'll be a lot of training involved, and we'll be doing that this year. The other thing is, and I'd like to give a shout out to Rip Colvin from Justice Administration Commission. For those registry attorneys at the end, they ran out of money at the JAC. He got more money, so now we have $2.1 million in that pot. So we'll have enough money to have advocacy for children who need special needs services through an attorney ad litem according to statute. And lastly, there were salary increases for Regional Conflict Counsel, and Candace Brower, Regional Conflict Counsel, did a great job advocating, and the best interest attorneys also got a salary increase. So good job, Candace, and we appreciate that. It was just a really good year for child welfare in the budget entities that we were looking at. As you can see, we need to do more and more, and I appreciate you coming today and learn more, because all these laws are nothing more than tools for all of you to use to make a better outcome for these children. And the laws are good, the lawyers and the staff need to step forward and make sure we execute them. Thanks again for joining us at this wonderful symposium. I know that you will leave here Friday with new friends, skills, and tools to continue to zealously advocate for children. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. At this time, we will be having the Acremen managing partner of the Orlando office, Jenny Childs, join me on stage. We have a wonderful partnership with Acremen, and so at this time, Jenny and Mary Kay Wimsett will be joining me on stage to talk about the partnership and to give the award to the winner.
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Childs. I'm the office managing partner for the Acremen law firm here in Orlando. Please bear with me. I'm battling a cold that one of my twin daughters gave me. I haven't figured out which one it was yet. They're 7, and tomorrow is the last day of school, so everything's a little bit upside down in our home. Well, I wanted to just take a minute to tell you about our firm, and thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to represent our firm today. Our firm, as you might know, was started here in Orlando approximately 100 years ago. We're now one of the 100 largest law firms in the country. I think we're 56 or 57 the last time I looked at that number, which is about 2 weeks ago. We have about 55 lawyers here in Orlando, and I've been managing partner since August. I was the first woman in our oldest office, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, thank you. But I think, what's really remarkable about our firm is that our CEO, Andrew Smullian, and our executive leadership several years ago decided that we were going to pool all of our philanthropic efforts into one cause, and that was CASA. We pledged $1 million to CASA, and we have created the Acremen Academic Excellence Scholarship to a foster youth, which we have awarded now 4 years in a row, paid all of their college tuition costs. So I think, thank you. Our firm has committed both dollars and attorney and staff time. Every year we have something called Give Back Days, which is the first week of May, where the whole firm focuses for that 5 days just on CASA and Guardian Ad Litem programs, raising money and making sure that we have the resources in our communities where our offices are across the country to support wonderful programs like the Guardian Ad Litems and CASA. I'm pleased to say, by the way, the Orlando office was the second highest fundraising office this year, second only to Miami, which has 3 times as many people, so I thought that was pretty good. So I appreciate our firm's commitment, but more importantly, your commitment to giving back and helping our most vulnerable citizens in our communities. Certainly as a single mom, I can empathize with that, and I know that I speak for our firm and obviously the Orlando office when I say we appreciate you. We're out there fighting for these kids, both with our dollars and our time, and so thank you very much for that. The Acremen Impact Award, which you're about to see the recipient of, was established to recognize the very best in child advocacy among Florida's Guardian Ad Litem staff. We thank not only this year's very deserving award recipient, but we are very, very pleased to be associated with this group of fine folks, and thank you for this wonderful partnership, and congratulations to the award winner. Thank you very much.
So the Acreman Award is presented annually by the Guardian Ad Litem Executive Director, Alan, Director of Legal Advocacy, me, and it's named in honor of the Acreman Law Firm. This award recognizes an outstanding child best interest attorney who has demonstrated exemplary legal advocacy and innovative thinking that has greatly impacted the children that they serve.
The award goes to an attorney who's nominated by their peers, who has identified creative legal solutions, large or small in scope, that has made an impact on the children that we serve. That attorney has suggested new ways to improve the quality of our legal advocacy on behalf of the children that we serve. Contributed to workplace legal advocacy improvements that support the Guardian Ad Litem program mission, I Am for the Child. And the Acreman Impact winner is Matthew Bachman. Come on up, where is he? We're going to make you stand here while we talk about you for a few minutes. Congratulations. Matt, and I had to look at the paper. I knew you were the winner, but I was like, I want to call you Matt, but his full name is Matthew. So Matt has been an attorney in the 13th Circuit for 11 years, where he now serves as the lead attorney. He is described as a legal unicorn who adds sunshine and positivity at all times to the sometimes dark halls of child welfare. During his time with the Guardian Ad Litem program, Matt has worked diligently to achieve best interest outcomes on behalf of children served by the 13th Circuit. He has ardently represented hundreds of children and proactively advocated on their behalf by prosecuting numerous termination of parental rights petitions and evidentiary motions. Whether it is by ensuring he knows the status of every child to whom he is assigned, no easy task given his caseload, or serving as a co-facilitator of the statewide Permanency Roundtable Collaborative, Matt consistently seeks new ways to improve the quality of legal advocacy of the Guardian Ad Litem program. He has improved the efficiency of court attorney coverage by assisting in the coordination of 12 monthly attorneys advocating in 9 court divisions. This has led to streamlining of court appearances and the delivery of organized and planned legal advocacy. He also serves on the Legal Needs of Children Committee, the LGBTQ Committee, and the High Quality Early Education Committee. Matt also recently was board certified in juvenile law. Matt is truly beloved by his staff members and volunteer child advocates. Some of the recognition he received from his peers included the following remarks. Matt doesn't hesitate to do what needs to be done for a child. He collaborates with the Office of the Attorney General, but he doesn't wait for them to do what is needed. He is always willing to step up and be part of making our program better. He is a friendly face for our volunteers in court and a great resource for our staff. He consistently mentors and trains new attorneys and takes time from his busy day to assist with training and shadowing. In order to do what is best for children, Matt consistently looks at different angles to oppose motions for changes in placements and challenges the status quo for what is best for children. He works with educational stakeholders in the area and statewide to consistently make things better for children in our care. And with that, we'd like to present Matt with the award and give him another round of applause. And now, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you. This is quite a surprise. After being with the Guardian Ad Litem program, fresh out of law school, I never really realized what this was going to mean to me in my life. Because of the people I've met and the work that you all have done, I became someone that I never knew existed. I became a child advocate, and I will be for the rest of my life. Thank you.